allow him to dictate how he can put pressure on. What is this
Whoa.
move? What is this move?
Well,
oh my word. Has he forgotten how to play chess? You can't play a move like that, surely.
He told me he came with a plan. Was he alluding to this? I don't know. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Get those cheeky moves out. How many times has Wesley faced that opening move in his life?
Maybe never.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, the reason we're very surprised by White's first move, he just moved this pawn on the left-hand side on this, you know, it doesn't do anything in the centre. It doesn't develop a piece. You want to get your knights and bishops out at the start. And here is his plan. He's trying to gain space on the left-hand side. He wants to do this bishop move. This is what we call fianchettoing the bishop, so it crosses through the centre. Not so stupid. Not as stupid as I first thought. Only mildly stupid. Not severely stupid.
I think it's a good strategy. You know, after all, these top players, they like to be respected. So why not play something cheeky? Have some fun. You know, if you're going to lose the match or if you're going to fight, you might as well do it on your own territory. I like the spirit. And
bit of South American flair.
Exactly. And taking a look at the heart rate, I can see the players are roughly around about the same, 125, 129 for Wesley. So it does mean that they are feeling stress. And Renato coming out with the C-pawn challenging the centre.
Yeah, and it's actually transposed now into a pretty standard kind of position. We've seen this kind of pawn formation that Black has got here in the middle quite often. Those pawns making a pyramid. And a pyramid is obviously one of the safest structures, one of the most solid structures you can get. Again, maybe chess reflecting a bit things in life. And it's very hard to break this pyramid down from the white side. And one of the reasons Wesley's played like this is because he only needs to get a draw. White pushes a pawn into the centre. The pros of that move is that it gains more control over that important part of the game. But the bad thing about that move is look at White's bishop on the dark squares. It's now stuck behind its own pawn. So you've made its range a lot worse. Remember, the bishops, they're long-range weapons, and you want to give them lots of open lines to work on.
That's true. And the question is whether you can make use of this piece that I often call the hidden assassin, because it does, as you mentioned, support the E5 square. So this is definitely going to be part of the plan. And, can you play like this? So White is playing very ambitiously and trying to set up this huge pawn storm there on the left side of the board. Now, it's very ambitious, because take a look at the tension in the centre. It's all resolved, which means that Black now will have no problem to break out with the e-pawn, push it one square forward and have some fun there in the middle. And Renato going for it. Just, he doesn't care about what's happening in the middle, what's going to happen on the right side of the board. For him, the action, the life is there on the left.
Remember, there is the evaluation bar if you're not sure about who's doing well. It's hovering around the middle, as it often does at this stage of the game with two brilliant players. The heart rate, Wesley, a little bit high, as is usual for him when he's playing. He keeps a very cool face considering how high that heart rate is going. And Wesley, I'm a bit surprised, did not push that pawn in front of his queen. Another issue for Renato, not just being a point down, is his time. And this is really key in the last game. He got too short on time to concentrate in the critical moments of the game. But this position, a lot of play left. White has decent chances, I think.
I agree with you. Well, I think both sides have actually very good chances. I mean, Black has got no reason to be unhappy. He's done nothing wrong after all. His bishops are in good diagonals. There's a big threat now of queen takes pawn on the board. That b7 pawn needs to be defended. Slide a rook over, get defensive, and then you can let some fun happen later. Instead, Wesley just develops the bishop, and the pawn cannot be grabbed because the bishop on b2 is just loose.
So White slides the rook over, and now this is Wesley's idea. But this is really risky because White can push that pawn forwards. That's one idea. And because remember, if you've got a pawn, if you get it to the other end of the board, you're practically going to win the game. by getting an extra queen. But he didn't do that. He simplified the position, favouring Wesley. The more pawns that get exchanged, the easier a draw becomes. But it's, the only danger I'm seeing for white here, he needs to win. It's like a mirror. It's symmetrical, the pawn structure, and it's very hard to break down a position which is similar to yours, which is symmetrical. How are you going to beat that? Renato's going to have to come out with some very clever ideas here.
And Wesley's heart rate going up, and I'm just looking at Renato's position and just thinking, where's the target? And there is one natural target, which is the pawn on a6. I think that small pawn is preventing Wesley from equalizing completely. But Wesley, I like the way he plays. He's accelerated the play when Renato has just under 30. And one of the things you have to watch out, when you're so short on time, one has a tendency just to eliminate the tension, to swap off pieces, and this could make Wesley's life easier. Remember, Terry is in a must-win situation.
That's right. And looking at their faces, I would say that, Renato is looking a little bit more nervous. I mean, he's got more at stake here. We have a queen exchange, so more pieces coming off the board. Now, Wesley moving that knight backwards, but that is unleashing the rook that was behind the knight. So now black's rook is looking towards white's pawn. Wesley would love to take that pawn, and I think so far, actually, Wesley's done everything pretty much perfectly. He hasn't given any big chances to white, and he's keeping a nice time advantage. Under 20 seconds now for white, and white's rook has gone to a rather uncomfortable square. It looks a little bit clumsy over there, but he needs to defend that pawn. Wesley aiming for more exchanges with his last move, and he captures that knight there, reducing the material on the board, therefore going for that draw, trying to get that draw, and so far, I think he's going to get it.
Yeah, and there was a choice to be made, and he captured that piece with a pawn. I thought that was quite a natural decision, but 10 seconds left for Renato Terry. He has to now play instinctively and all at the same time keep on applying the pressure on Wesley. Wesley attacks the rook. The rook is going to retreat somewhere. Oh, he takes the pawn. Bishop takes.
Has he lost the pawn?
He has
Wesley just lost the pawn? I mean, I think he's got a pawn down. Why did he do that? That was a crazy idea by Wesley, because white now has this extra pawn, which you can see in front of the black knight. If he can get that pawn to the end of the board, it will be game over. The time situation, though, is not in Renato's favour. Just push the pawn, Renato. Shove it up the board, all the way to the end. Get a queen. We want a queen on the board. And with Wesley's last move, he's putting pressure on that extra pawn. Is he going to get a queen, Jovanka?
I don't know. The clock is going to start ticking, and it's going to tell us 8 seconds for Wesley. The rook is now down to seventh row, and I agree with you. Push the pawn now. No, he gets the rook behind the pawn. Okay, get the king into the game. Maybe activate the knight if you're going to go down that route. 11, 10, and Wesley jumps in with his own knight, and now the heat is on the b pawn. How can it be defended?
The heat is on, and you can see it there. It's 3 seconds
2
versus
seconds.
11. But now Wesley has a passed pawn. They've both got passed pawns. I think Wesley's doing a good job of defending. What a beautiful square.
But there's a trick on the board. Get careful with the king and the rook.
Okay, well, he's come in with the knight, and it looks like Wesley might be holding this one so far. Remember, you can't repeat the same position. It's 2. Whoa!
And the players are in panic mode. How are they going to just
surely move the knight back?
5?
You only need a draw, Wesley.
4.
Go for the draw. 3. Okay, the rook comes up. How is white going to try to win this?
Reroute the knight.
I don't know why Wesley is doing this. This is very surprising to me, because he's going for a very risky strategy. Is he trying to win this game when he only needs a draw? 4, 3. Keep an eye on those clocks.
And okay, I'm expecting the knight to come forward again. Wesley going for the h pawn. Throwing some checks in. Push the pawn. You mean you have to do something?
Push the pawn.
You've got to push him, baby. Come on.
Push him real good.
1 second left on the clock when he made that move.
And there goes the pawn. This is the only way that white can try to win.
3.
Wesley grabs another pawn over there, but look at white's pawn, which is near to the king. It's only 2 squares from queening. Can Wesley control it? A check there. The black king is now in a very bad situation, and that pawn, can he get it 2 squares forwards? If he can, he will win. The rook comes back to attack the knight. They're repeating a little bit just to gain some time on the clock. I think Wesley has this under control at the moment.
And Terry's leaving himself 1 second.
1 second. This is crazy. He's got to play something, but he's not making any progress.
Just move the king. Just bring any piece in. Oh, and he lost on time.
Wow. Incredible. I mean, he was always dicing with death there. That was another win for Wesley So. And Renato Terry